Another one, October 12th. All right, I had a feeling that today we're gonna hit a hard one. All right, let's take a look. Yup, as I had expected. Because we've been coasting on medium question the whole week. Smallest range covering elements from K-lists. Okay, before I start, I need to get my water. This is gonna take a while. You have K-lists of sorted integers. Non-decreasing order. Find the smallest range that includes at least one number from each of the K-lists. We define the range is smaller than another range if b minus a smaller than d minus c. Okay, so the range is smaller, or a smaller than c if b minus a is equal to. So if the two has the same interval, right, same range, and the one that's more to the left is smaller, or the range smaller range is smaller. All right. Let's see. We have an example here. 20, 24. Wait, hold on. So the intervals are inclusive. 24 is in the range. Okay, yeah, it's inclusive. And the 20 is in the range. No, I'm not Brazilian. And 22 is in the range. All right, so we have these sorted lists, right? And each one has some numbers, they're sorted, and we need to find a range that covers at least one of them. Cover at least one of them. That's a very interesting question. Oh, look at this. You can do 1, 1. Damn. All right. What do you think? I don't know. Let me write this out. Maybe I'll have some ideas. All right. 0, 9, 12, 20. So it feels like a merging linked list. Not the merge of the merge sort, right? So we start from here. I don't know. I mean, you get. You start from where? I don't know. You have to include this. Dude, I don't know how to start. Okay, how about this? So we have these. If we want a range to include everybody, you can give it to me. If you want to include everyone, so maybe you need to find is a number across all three that's very close to each other, right? If you have a number from each list that's very close to each other, then you can find a very small range that will cover all of them. Which means if you have a number that appears in all three of them, then that number you'll have a range of 0. Like in this case, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 appears in all of them, and then 1 will be the answer, right? So that's kind of 1, and in this case, you have 24, 20, and then 22. They're all very close to each other. Okay, and what do you mean by very close to each other? Well, what I mean by that is the distance. So like 24, 20, then 22. The smallest 20, the biggest 24, and then the difference in between them is 4. Right? You can also say, how about 15, 12, and 18? That difference is from 12 to 18, so that's 6. Right? So this one is smaller. So are you saying that if we say, I mean, eventually we'll find a range right? That will satisfy. And it also means that we will have to find some number in the first list, right? And we need to find its closest in the second list, which we need to find the closest in the third list, and then just keep going on. And as you go through the whole k lists, and you can construct a range, or what I say, the smallest range that can fit every single one in this thing, right? In this thing, and nums.length, which means we have k lists, right? So can we do something like this? We say, okay, how about we say it's 4, right? And then we binary search every single one. So we binary search the second list, find the number closest to 4, right? Closest to 4. So in this case, if your binary search is either 0 or 9, then we say, okay, we'll get 0. Oh, why don't you get 9? Right? You get 0, the distance is 4. You get 9, the distance is 5. Right? And I think I can think of a scenario where it will be better to choose 9. For example, well, if you choose 9, the distance is already 5. Right? So no matter what you choose will be bigger than 5. But if you choose 0, the distance is 4. And no matter what you choose, you are still beautiful rings. Beautiful earrings too.
No.
Well, I love it that you love them. I'm gonna post the videos.
Yeah, video.
Oh, I haven't even shoot the videos. Hey, if I do a picture and a video, do I get like a double discount? I don't think I can double dip. All right, so back to this. So we're 4. Which one do we choose? Do we choose 0? Do we choose 9? So I was saying if we choose 9, then the minimum distance is already 5, right? So no matter which one you choose, it will be bigger than that. So if we choose 0, it's 4. All right, and we can choose something else, so we still have a chance. So I do think it's gonna be choose small. So in this case, if we choose 4, then we'll choose 0, right? And then what do we choose? Well, I have a range, right? I have a range of 0, 4. Then we need to choose something in this range, or something close to this. If I have something within the range, that's good. If it's outside the range, then we need to choose something closest to the outside, which is 5. So if I go through first, it's gonna be here, right? 4, 0, 5, and we'll update the range will be 0 to 5, right? So that's go through here to 0, 0, 5, and then in the second, okay, this might work. Okay, this might work. But each one is 50, so that's small enough. So we say we got a 10, right? And we binary search 10, find the one closest to it. So binary search 10 will go here. So either go 9 or 12. So I say go 9, right? So now I have a range of 9 to 10. So when we search the next one, we will search for 9 to find the smallest. Like, so if we search for 9, I have 5 and 18. Both are outside. Ooh, both are outside. Okay, so my candidate is, so this candidate is 5 or 18. If we go 10, it's also 5 and 18, right? Then we need to choose one that allows my range to be small. So I'll have a bunch of candidates, right? I have a bunch of candidates. So if I have a candidate that's falling inside my range, I think that is better, right? If it's falling inside. Okay, so in this case, neither 5 or 18 is falling inside. So if we go 5, I have a distance of 5. We go 18, I have a distance of 9. So I say, okay, in this case, I'll pick 5. So that's the second one. So we get 5 to 10. Distance also 5. Okay, so now I just need to prove that this works. Like, because every step you are doing, every step. And remember, if you go reverse style, would you even pick the same one? I mean, it doesn't really matter which style we do, right? Because the number has to be belonging to a certain range, right? I have 15. I need to find another number in the second list that can work with 15, right? And now it's just a question of which direction you go, right? You get a number if you say you find the closest, and then you find the closest with regards to previous. So the question is, if at one step I don't get the closest one, I get the second closest one, okay? Will the overall range be smaller? Let's say if at a certain step I don't get the closest one, or you give me a range, and then in the next one I don't get the one with the closest range, I get a slightly bigger one, okay? And then you tell me that this will get you to a smaller range overall, which means you get something else, you get it to be smaller, right? You can say that. And I would argue that if the previous step you get a smaller one, then it will always work. Okay, how about this? I believe the greedy one will work. Okay, I believe the greedy will work. I believe the greedy will work. Yeah, I believe the greedy will work. And all I need to do now is to figure out a better way to code this. So the first list is going to be the anchor. And the second one will get, oh yeah, I can just do like 15 to 15, right? So when I go in, it's going to be starting 15 to 15, right? That's my range. And then the left one, I do a binary search. So I have a candidate 9 and 12. And then next one also get 9 and 12, right? So first we check if anything is in it. If it's in it, then yeah, we don't have, we pick it and we can move on. And none of them is in it, so from this case I will pick 12. Actually no, it's 12 to 20, my bad. 12 to 20. 12 20. So I say I'll pick 12, so it'll be 12 to 15. That's on the left hand side. And on the right hand side I will pick something, and then this one will give me a range. Then we can have a scenario where the left, no, the range has to include this one as well, right? So I have this, and then I can get something on the left. If it's inside, that's good. So it's not inside, so either outside and outside. If it's an outside, then I have this range. If it's outside on the other side, then we have this range. Now we compare the two range. I will pick the smaller one. Right, I'll pick the smaller one. So if I have something bigger, but it's more small, would it be, okay, so here is the thing. I have AB, right? And I have C is smaller. Let's call it, let's say we have A minus 3, and I have B plus 2, right? So I have a choice to make. I can either do A minus 3B, or I can do AB plus 2. Now this one is smaller. Now in the next round, right, in the next round, let's say I do so this is bigger than this, but this is also smaller. So what I'm thinking is maybe next one I have something inside, like a minus 2, a minus 1. Right? If the next one is a minus 1, then it's included here. Yes. But it's not including here. Right? So let's say we have 5 to 10. Okay? That's the current range. And then the next one I have 2 or 12. Right? 2 or 12. So what I can do 2 to 10, or I can do 5 to 12. And if we do greedy, I'll pick 5 to 12. And let's say the next one is going to be 4. If I include this, so the answer will be 4 to 12. But if I take this, the answer will be 2 to 12, 2 to 10. Right, both are 8, but this is actually smaller. So this is a proof that greedy doesn't work. Okay, this is a proof that greedy does not work. Holy crap, greedy does not work. So basically I have 5, 10, and then we have 2, 12. Well, basically we can say we have a 5, we have a 10, we have 2, 12, and we have a 4. Right? Does not work. Yep, greedy does not work. Now what? Greedy does not work. If not greedy, maybe, can we sort? Let's say we pop 0 out first. So this guarantee will always have leftmost. So I say, okay, the first one I'll go 0. So I don't go this order. I just pick 0 out. Okay, I pick 0 out, and then I do the next smallest. That's not on the same. So the next smallest not on the same. Holy crap. So I have to pop. Huh. 4, the next smallest. No, let me think. So we're saying the smallest number, right? So the smallest number, we need to include the smallest number. It has to go to the right. They must get the smallest. So for 0, it has to go like this. 0, 4, 5. That's it. It's the only way to handle 0. It's 0, 4, 5. So this will give us a 0 to 5, right? So done. We're done with 0. Next smallest is 4, right? So basically we're saying if we use 0, if 0 is in it, then it's going to be 0, 5. So 0 is done. Now it's 4. Anything smaller than 4 we don't consider. So for 4, it's going to be 4, 5, 9, which will get 4 to 9. Okay, now 4 is done. Now we go 5 is going to be 5 to 10. Right? 5 is done. Next is 9. 9 is going to be 9 to 18. Right? Because, like, including 5, if 5 is the smallest, it must be 5 to 10. But it's not, but including 5, that's not a small, because we can do 4 to 9, right? It's also including 5. But it's just saying that if 5 is a small, because the smallest one we already handled it, right? So 9 will be to 18. So that's done. Next is 10. That'll be 10 to 18, right? Next is 12. Will be 12 to 18, right? And next will be 15 to 20, right? 15 to 20. Next will be 18, 24. Next will be 20 to 24. That's actually our answer. And next will be, oh, we're done with one, so that's it. That's it. Because we exhaust one, so none of these can form, because like this is the smallest. So basically, the ideal is, if you have a smallest number in the current one, it's very easy to find its range, right? It's very easy to find its range. So you just go the smallest of all, and that's how you find it. And once you find it, you just move on to the next one, because the smallest one is already included. You know what it will be. So we remove it. We don't need to consider it. So in the remaining number, what's the current smallest? So what do? So every time it's deterministic, right? So if we use our previous example where the greedy fails, right? We have 5, 10, 2, 12, and 4. If we use this, right, with a 5, 10, 2, 12, and 4, we'll go 2 first, right? 2, so it'll be 2, 10. That was the start. Then we'll remember 2, right? And then it will be 4, 12, right? 4, 12. Now we remember 4, and that's done. So I have these two, and the smaller is this one. Yep, I think that is a solution. How do we implement it? Well, we have a priority queue, right? We have a priority queue. Put the first one of each in the priority queue, and the queue will record the value and the index of the list. And we'll do priority queue, we pop the top out, right? So it's like the current. Do we need 2? I need a min heap and I need a max heap. I need both. The min heap will keep the smallest, so I know what's the smallest. Max heap will give me the maximum, so I know the current range. And then once we're done, smallest gets popped. The maximum, ooh. Hold on. Index. It's gonna be index. It's gonna be index. It is going to be index. So the priority queue is going to be index of the list and index within the list, right? So when that's the case, so we'll get the smallest out, and I will get the biggest out. Okay? Yeah, so I get the biggest out, and then the smallest will move on, because I need to push the next smallest in. Next one in. And the biggest, the current biggest, maybe we don't need another priority queue to check the biggest, because the biggest we don't pop the biggest, right? We don't pop the biggest. Maybe we just need to keep track of the biggest. So the smallest, okay, and the biggest will find the current biggest. And then from small to big, I form the range, okay, and then I pop the smallest, get the next smallest in, and then when I get the next smallest in, we'll update the biggest as well. Then the smallest keep going. I get the next smallest with the biggest, and I pop it. New one comes in, I keep checking the biggest. So the biggest will keep getting updated, okay? So in this case, this is the smallest, this is the biggest. Smallest get popped, okay? Next one comes in. Now when the next one comes in, this 9 will go to the main heap, but at the same time, this 9 will get updated with the biggest. So the biggest becomes 9. So in the priority queue, I have 4, 9, and 5. So 4 will raise up and 9 will be used. And then 4 will get popped, 10 will get in, and the biggest will update to 10. And then now the smallest become 5. 5 shows up, so it'll be 5 and 10. So we keep going through this until your index exhausts, right? And when your index exhausts, we shut down the entire operation. Or when some you add some value, right? And then you pop, right? In this case, you pop this, and you try to add the next one, and you find out that you cannot add, and that's when it ends. Okay, I think I have a implementation. It'll be wild if we can get this in the first shot, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, it makes a lot of sense to me. I think we have a good shot, like a really good shot in solving this. We need a priority queue. It's gonna be the int of this pq new priority queue. Okay, it's gonna be AB. All right, integer dot compare. We need to note this is a index of list, index within list. Okay, I would rather call it INJ. Okay, INJ. So we'll compare here is nums I is the list, j is inside the list, right? And then nums I this is A and this is B. This is the both are lists, right? So I cannot do it this way. So it's going to be nums A0. It's list, right? No. It's dot get A0, right? Dot get A1. Same here. Nums dot get B0 dot get B1. Right, because of this. This is how we define it. Right, this is how we define the priority queue. List, index of the list, right, and index within the list. Yeah, and then I'll have I'll have the range. Right, I'll have the range. I have a private is smaller, so boolean is smaller range. Okay, So we'll say x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, I'm going to say is x1, y1 a smaller range than x2, y2? If y1 minus x1 is smaller than x2, now y2 minus x2, return true. Right, return true. If y1, what is that? If y1 minus x1 is equal to y2 minus x2, we'll return x1 smaller than x2. Smaller equal to, right? If they're the same, doesn't really matter, right? So if it's smaller, otherwise we'll return, yeah, so that's the logic. Okay, we got this logic done, and then we need to put everything in it, right? When you put everything in it, for int I equals to 0, I smaller than nums dot size I plus plus. Okay, and then for each one I'll put, I say pq dot add new int I, which is the index of the list, and the nums, no, 0. It's the first one. Right? It's the first one. It's the index within the list. And everybody will have at least one. Yep. Okay. So then we can say while. Can I say while true? Right? Because I'll need to keep going through them. So first thing I will get, okay, hold on. I also need int low. I don't know, low I can do, it's minus 10 to the 5th. Okay, I can say minus 10 to the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 3, 5, 6, yeah. High is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, that's definitely bigger than any of these. Alright, that's our starting point. And I'll have what? I'll have the int. Oh, and I also need the current maximum, current max high. Do I need a current max high? I don't need the current, because the high is already current max high, right? Yeah, I think the high can already be the current max high. But no, the low and high is record. Right, the current high is gonna be, yeah, let's just do a current max high. Minus an integer dot main value. Okay, this is current max high. So now I have the element. Oh, I need, hold on. I do need this. I need this for this purpose, because I need a current max high. So I carve the smaller out. I have the current max high. I mingle it, right? And then I'll update the new one, and now I move on to the next one. So I always have the current max high, which is yep. So I need this. So we'll do that, and current max are equal to math.max nums dot get I dot get 0. So I want the biggest among them, right? So once we're done, we element equal to pq dot poll, right? We'll pull it out. I pull it out, so I have the smallest, right? The current smallest and the current maximum. So that I can say if is smaller range low, no, a smaller range element, hold on, so int current min shall equal to nums dot get element 0 dot get element 1, right? This is the current min. So I say if the current min and the current max is smaller than low, right, is smaller than low and high. If that is the case, then we will update low equal to current min and high equal to current max, right? That's the logic. If my current range is smaller than the results, then I update, right, to this. And if it's not, then I don't update. But we do have to, because I already popped something out, I need to add a new one in, right? So what I do is I'll get nums is the new one, right? And I need to say pq.add new int, right? What do I get? It's gonna be element okay. So I should say if element 1 is index plus 1 is equal to, okay, nums dot get element 0, that's the list, dot size, or break. That's when we break. Otherwise, we will add a new one, which is element 0, which is the list index, and element 1 plus 1, right? Well, pq will add this, and the current max shall equal to max dot maximum. Current max. There's a syntax error here. I forgot a current max. Okay, so this is going to nums dot get element 0 dot get element 1 plus 1. Yeah, because I'm adding the new one in, so I need to keep track my maximum. Okay, so I keep going this, and at the end I will return new int low and high. Okay, let's see if this idea holds water. I think this idea will hold water. I run it, and it is. Okay, I'm gonna try this. It's 632. So the basic idea is that any number that the smallest, right, value among all the lists can only have one way of becoming a range, which is to be grouped with the smallest of the other lists, right? Now, since this is deterministic, we will quickly, yeah, we don't have to branch out. Now, once the smallest value has been considered, right, we can eliminate it and move on to consider the second smallest, right, value, right, and form the best range for it. Right now, the second smallest values range is also deterministic as long as the smallest is not considered, right? And if we keep track of the best range when each number is considered, when it is the only number, when it is the smallest number at the moment, right? When we do that, then we can get the best shot, right? We can get the best shot. If we, hold on, how do I explain this? And honestly, I'm not sure even this is correct, but I think it does make a lot of sense. As long as the smallest is not considered, we can compare the two. Right, we're going to say here, we can compare the two ranges and then keep the smaller one. We can do this for all the numbers in order, such that each one, right, has the chance of being the smallest under the current consideration, right? And current consideration, and obtain the smallest possible range under that condition, right? Under that condition. Now, if that number if the true smallest range, right, does start with the current number being the smallest, right, being the smallest among so far, right, being the smallest at the current situation, right? Under the current situation, we will have found the answer, right? If not, right, then it must belong to some, right, to some range that has been considered before. Thus, we will always we will never miss the true smallest range. Okay, I'm not sure if I make it clear, but I think this is the way to go, right? So you go through every one, you consider every single number as the smallest so far, right? Because if the number is the smallest so far, you will get a deterministic way of finding the range. So you find the range. If the answer range does consider yourself at the moment is the smallest, and then you have it, right? But if it's not, it's fine, but you will belong to some smallest that has been considered before. So this is absolutely correct. I have 1000% confidence. What I need to do now is consider the runtime of this. Well, we did a k, right? Because that they say k is nums length, so I say k log k, because the size of this is k, right? K log k here, and for these, I'll go through them one by one, and each one will be log k. So k log k plus, I can call it n log k, right? So we can say O k log k plus n log k. I mean, technically it's not really n log k, is it? Yeah, it is, right? So we can say k is the length of nuns, and n is the total number of values in nuns. All right. Make sure everything still works. I have confidence that this is a solution. Yes, yes, yes. Terrible runtime, but it was good, right? We solved it. We solved it and it was not difficult to implement. I mean, runtime is bad, so let's see if we can get it better. How do we get it better? I mean, we have a priority queue, so maybe we don't need a priority queue. That's how I think it can get better. I mean, we do need to keep track of the indices. So you need to know which one we'll consider so far. Like, how do you do it without? I don't know. How do you do this? How do you do this faster? I mean, I already break out immediately when we cannot continue anymore. Or you can break out whenever you find something that's equal, right? The first time you find something that's equal, then you can break it out. Okay, so I can say I can say if low is equal to high, then we can break as well. Yeah, I can say first time when low is equal to high for the first time, it is guaranteed, right? Guaranteed to be the smallest range. All right, that's maybe it can make things a bit better. So run it first. Let's try it. See if it's gonna get any faster. Nope. Nope. Don't think so. Don't think so. Okay. So that's not the case. We don't really do that part. So then what else can you make it faster? I feel I do have to use a priority queue unless you can get a priority queue go faster. How did you make the priority queue go faster? I don't know. Let's take a look. Brute force n times k, you probably will time out. Priority queue, ln log k. Yep, 2 pointers. ln log n. Sliding window. Okay, let's see. What did they do? Value and the list index. Element index. Okay, I have 3. Would this make a difference? I got a max value, range start, range end. Insert the first element into the main heap. Okay, we get this, we get this. We get max value, that's exactly the same. Continue till we can proceed further. Well, pq.size equal to nums.size. Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Data, min value, row column, that's good. Update the smallest range. That is good. Oh yeah, I don't have to do this honestly because it's guaranteed. Oh no, well, that's good. Column plus one, smaller. Next val, I get it. We'll offer next val max. That's exactly the same as my solution. Exactly the same. Okay, exactly the same. Not a bit different. Well, I mean, technically we have a little bit difference in how we implement it, but overall it's exactly the same. And I like this. I wonder, I seriously wonder, will this get a fast? I don't think so. I don't really think. I mean, we did do a. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So because they have to do the thing as well. And for my case, I just break it out, so it's the same. So that's the same. O n log k, and is n num length is 50. What is n? Total number of elements. Yeah, so that should be but 2 pointers. Okay, how do we do 2 pointers? Lord. We got merged. Merge all lists with their list indices. Okay, so we got a number and its index. Okay, and you sort it. Okay, 2 pointers to track the smallest range. So when you say that, I'm thinking you're doing a sliding window. Oh yes, sliding window. It's the same. So you have something to start, and then you just move, and you have to keep track the frequencies, right? Keep track the frequencies. You'll put the frequency. If the frequency is equal to 1, yes, you count plus plus. And then while count is equal to the size, and then you move the left, right? Yeah, so basically you move right, move until the count is equal to k, right? Then you know in this range we have captured every single one, which is all smallest, right? You capture every single one, and you start moving the left because that's how you can get it smaller, right? So you'll get a right. The current range is what's left? What's right? Right is left is left, right is right. So you get this. Is the value. So you get a current. No, that's not value, right? That is the number. Oh yeah, that's the range. You get a range. So if you current range is smaller, so your range start. You get this start. And then we'll put -1. If you do this in minus. Yes. Good. Very good. You can do a sliding window on this. I did not think about it because when I was thinking we need to keep track of the smallest, right? And then all I think is priority queue. So priority queue can do that. And if you put everybody into a list, sliding window can do that as well, because it's already all smallest. Because we just want to find the smallest, the range for the smallest, right? That's what we want to find. And if you sort it and then you do 2 pointers, they shouldn't call it 2 pointers. Okay, this is sliding window. You get a window, as small as you can, that you include everybody, and that's your range, and then you move to the left. And as you move to the left, you shrink in the range, so you keep updating, and then just move up until the right is done, and then you get the answer. Very good. And I think speed wise, this one should be faster, right? This one should be faster. That's a very good question. You want to try the 2 pointers? I mean, we kind of out of time. I don't want to try the 2 pointers because I know how it works. I think I'll just leave this. I'll just leave this. I do wonder. You know what? I do think 2 pointers might be. It might be faster. Maybe. Maybe. It may be faster. Yeah, but we'll call it a day. We'll call it a day. Maybe we'll encounter this problem in the future, and then we can try the 2 pointer idea. All right, that will be it for today. Good problem. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Adios.